One. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Water Invitational Captain's Gut Reaction post draft analysis. I'm here today with the holder of the number one overall pick and captain of Stro's E-Daters, One Take Hoovie. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. How
Very.
about you, Tommy?
I'm great. I've had such a great time today.
Fantastic. Glad to hear it.
The draft was very, very entertaining, and some of that entertainment mostly came from you and some interesting decisions you made. So, why don't you give me a little bit of your draft philosophy?
So I wanted to come in here and being the first pick in a snake format is always a double-edged sword because you can get on paper who's the best player, but then you have to think about the rest of the players on the board who's going to get taken off by the time it snakes its way back to you. Always the fun of being the first pick of snake formats. So I got, in my opinion, in most people's opinion, probably the best individual player in the tournament in Stro. I named my team after him because I knew how good he was, how good he is, and how his potential to just take over games by himself. So I knew no matter who I got, as long as I had Stro, there's a possibility. Um, yeah, and then coming into the second round, I kind of knew that I needed a really strong mid to help synergize with Stro, and to me, in my opinion, Frost was the best available mid on the board that I think would work well with Stro.
Okay.
And I feel like Stro is pretty much my win condition, so I want to get him in the best possible scenario for him. Of course, I say that, and then as I go into the immediate pick after, I go into Slayer because again, I don't really know the other ADCs there. I know Robin played in the last Invitational. I don't know Mac Attack at all. I know Slayer. It's pretty just as simple as that. And I was honestly assuming I would end with getting Prey, and I was still kind of happy with that. I'm like, Prey's fine. Like he's a good relatively solid player. He doesn't really, he doesn't have a huge ego that demands playing high resource champions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if I have Prey, I think I have an okay team. On paper, it looks bad. I'm aware it looks bad on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But then Spoob fell to me, and I was ecstatic. I'm like, we actually have a shot. And I don't think anyone believes in us. I believe in us.
All right. Very encouraging to hear. All right. So, is your? I'm assuming, based on your kind of cadence, that your gut reaction to your team is very positive.
Mixed.
Mixed. Okay.
I think with any team, given like the nature of like the spectrum of players in Water Invitational, you could always wish like, oh, I wish this person fell to me in any type of draft format. But honestly, like I'm okay with my team because I've played with most. I haven't. The only person I haven't played with in any type of format or game, even like customs, was Frost. But I've heard good things through the grapevine. Like I've played games with Spoob, I've played games with Slayer, I've played games with Stro. Like we all have this repertoire with each other, which I really, I think especially for like a fun invitational type tournament like this is pretty important. Like getting just really good names on paper that you don't have any real connection to is not necessarily always a great winning formula. I think about like Indigo's team last tournament where he had the best team on paper and like holy crap, how's Indigo not gonna win this tournament? And they, if I remember correctly, I think they made it to semis and got
Yep.
destroyed in semis.
All
So
right.
like, I think when people look at the names of the paper and they go, oh wow, like I see a lot of blue. This team's really good. I'm like, yeah, no, they have really good players, but like I think synergy and play style is important.
Fair enough. So, if you were to place yourself in the pecking order today amongst the teams from 1 to 7 after the best of one stage, right after it's all been concluded, where do you see your team finishing up that part of the stage of the tournament?
As far as if it's like solely best of ones, I honestly like if I'm being real, I think we're probably in like the fifth place team just because best of ones are so volatile. Um, I think we should beat like probably Erebus pretty handedly, and I think we could probably beat Indigo's team pretty well. I think best of ones are always random, and I could sit here and say we're going to place fifth, but then we could end up being the first seed overall because best of ones are so random, and we have Stro.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to be trying to 5-ban Stro every single game. It's going to leave Spoof his champions. It's going to leave Frost his champions.
Yeah.
So I think having Stro is just powerful just for that alone.
Yeah,
Of course, people are
definitely.
going to try and keep him, like neutralize him, but I think just people just don't put enough respect on the rest of the other players that have.
Fair enough. I like the optimism and the fact that I think you are identifying one of the like kind of unforeseen benefits of drafting like a perceived like X factor talent is that they will draw bans away from your other players so that if they are weaker or have a smaller champion pool that they won't be punished nearly as much, especially in the best of one phase. So with that being said, if you were to pick a team not your own to win the tournament today, who would you pick?
If the final tournament, like best of 5, was happening today,
Yeah, like if the entire tournament happened.
my natural instinct would probably go to Oral's team.
Okay.
Just because I know Oral and KTL are probably the best bot lane duo in the tournament,
Mm-hmm.
just because they have like that repertoire with each other. Like they played a lot of games together. Um, Dogbrain's not a bad top laner. Rekt is a pretty decent jungler.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised he even fell that far in the draft. To be honest, I thought Rekt would be gone like round 2, maybe early round 3. I was very surprised he was the last jungler on the board. Definitely surprised me a little bit because he's one of those talents again that I feel like people might have overlooked just because his name is in a different color.
I like the analysis of
Yeah, but I
that.
think I think RL's got. If it was just today, also Jake's team like Cancun on 3, like they literally 80% of that team has played comp together for an extended period of time. So like that also gives them an advantage. They know how each other want to play. They know, you know, much more about it, and just having that little extra advantage, especially if it were to just happen today, like yeah, it would help.
All
So
right.
I would say probably those two if it was just today.
Okay, cool. And then I made you pick the top of the pile. I'm going to make you pick the bottom of the pile too. If you were to pick the team that does not make it through the best of one stage and
Erebus,
Erebus, that easy, yeah?
Zenobia's team. I'm not, look. I'm not trying to start shit. I'm not trying to because the thing is, I think that's probably gonna be what most people say. I I just think my gut instinct. I think Zenobia is good, but I think Zenobia also has a pretty infamously small champion pool. If he gets his champions, he's really really good. Debatably the best individual on his champions. He's not going to get his champions though. I feel like a lot of that team is really dependent on getting their champions. I don't think there's anyone on that team that really has a crazy champion pool depth. And Zenobia is going to get targeted really a lot. And I don't know if if like Kaz getting his Tristana or his Caitlyn is going to be well enough to like overcome the rest of that.
All right, fair enough. And I think you will actually be surprised when all the interviews come out that there's not really a consensus for either the
Oh, I'm
top
sure.
or the bottom.
Yeah. I would say I think most people would probably go towards like uh, Water, Indigo, Arl's team as like the top, and then probably Zenovia's or my team at the bottom of the pile. That'd be my first guess, but hey, best of ones, we'll see.
All right.
Anything happens.
And so, have you done any research into the PPE and the new season, the new patch, with the new systems coming
Yeah,
into place,
I played a few PPE games.
and thoughts? Is there any concerns
Um,
you might have going into the new season?
uh, that Bastion Breaker item needs to be removed.
Okay.
That shit's not okay. I think the new quests that they added are really cool. I know a lot of mid laners are mad about their quest. I still think their quest, even if it's not by far the most broken, it's still not bad. It's
Mm-hmm.
still a pretty decent quest. It's just not overtly overpowered like the other quests are.
Yep.
Even like a role like support, like every game I've played support, I've gotten to like 3 4 items pretty consistently. And I know it's like PB, so it's not like everyone's trying super hard and like really trying to, but like supports get a lot of gold injection. So I feel like support is already kind of a really strong role, and I feel like support's going to be even stronger now.
Uh,
Just the extra gold influx.
all
On the
right.
top lane again, the top lane changes. Top lane is going to be an absolute insane role. really crazy. And then yeah, I mean I think overall it's a good season. I like a lot of the changes they did. The game is faster,
Hmm.
in case people weren't aware of that. Minions and jungle camps start in 1 minute instead of a minute 30, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Alrighty. And
But yeah, it's been really fun. I like the season so far. It's every game I've played on PBE has been really fun. Maybe it's just because I'm playing with like my friends and stuff, but like every game's been pretty great.
alrighty. And so those are all my questions out of the way. So I'm going to give you the floor to say anything you want to make your claim on Water Invitational and let you plant the flag of Strozy Daters in the sand.
All I'm gonna say is don't sleep on us. I know Stro's the big bad of the tournament. He's the big Kahuna. Everyone's looking at Stro. I feel like if you focus all your attention on Stro, you're gonna miss out on leaving out people that I think a lot of people are undervaluing.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Hoovie, for your time in this interview. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed another installment of the post draft breakdown. Hopefully, there's more content for you to watch coming in the near future. And hope everyone has a great day. Bye bye.